Hey everybody, this is your boy Zero from Zero Gunpla Reviews. In today's episode, we're going to cover the Buster Gundam from Gundam Seed. So, with this build, this would be my second to last of the G weapons finished. Last is the Aegis. Out of reasons, well, I'm not a huge fan of the Aegis. I just don't like the head. That's just a personal gripe of mine. And honestly, out of the 5G weapons, Strike was my favorite. Then it was the Buster. Then it was the Blitz, and then it was the Duel. And then Aegis went dead last. I just never was a fan of it. That's just me. So, I picked up this dude at my local hobby store. By sheer dumb luck, I originally was going to order it off our friends at Galactic Toys. But I was like, I'm going to check out my hobby store. And it turns out they had it. Strange luck. I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to roll with it. So, let's get into the review of my second favorite G weapon. And the positives and some bad negatives, at least to me it is, of this really interesting Gunpla. So, this is the Buster with everything that comes in box. The sheet of stickers, which is the sensor array back on the top of the head, the back of the head, the eyes, on both guns, and that's about it. And there's no beam effects, because there's no beam saber, there's no shield, and you get a bunch of different hands. Closed hands for right and left, dynamic hands for right and left, and of course, for a heavy-duty shooting unit, trigger fingers. Oh, I say trigger fingers and I grab the base adapter. There it is. The trigger fingers for right and left. And of course, you got a little minifigure of the pilot, like you do in all Master Grades. Even though stuff like the Extreme Blast Mode that had a bunch of little figures and 2 giant figures. But you know, this is back to the standard of 2. One for the cockpit and the other for, you know, the little figurine. So, I see that part of the Penelope's on camera, but hey, let's just scooch the camera. There we go. Okay, so let's talk about the flaws I had with this. Up here, the sensor array, that really doesn't fit in tightly. In fact, you can, like, usually wiggle the head loose and it will fall off. So I had to glue this piece in the back of the heels because these two did not, like, they weren't tightened. They were very loose and they could fall off very easily, so I glued them just to be safe. So be careful with that. Also, as I was alluded to by a friend on Facebook, the pieces here and here where the guns are held can break quite easily. So be careful with that when you're putting the guns back into position. Well, the non-firing position. So be careful with that. They can break. And then you're going to have to either try to fix it or find another copy of the Buster Gundam to replace it with. And that's money. And nobody wants to spend unnecessary amounts of cash on another Gunpla if they don't have to worry about breaking it. So, the main feature of this dude, other than its great looking design, I mean, they put the sniper scope sensor array under armor. That is actually quite intelligent. It's a bunch of weapons on it. Namely, missile pod in both shoulders. And of course, the beam rifle and the beam shotgun. Which you pop down like this, and that's what you can actually do like that, so you can get a better view of it. And yes, you can do the combination. We'll throw it like this. Up. Move this forward. Turn it slightly sideways. Pop that down. Forward. Oh, be careful with the vents right here. And then up here, it can get stuck. It might stuck, I mean, come undone. So, by the way, these do not stick into place properly, like tightly. So, the hyper shotgun, and you can do the reverse by having this come out forward. And turn his waist that way. For the ship-breaking beam rifle, aka the really long-range sniper rifle. But like I said, they don't permanently stick into place. So, let's get a better view. And the instructions aren't entirely clear how to do it properly. I had to figure this out on my own. How to, squish the arms. I mean the gun, back into place. Well, into place in the first place. Yeah, I just said place a lot in the last 5 seconds, and that's kind of weird. That goes there. And the sniper rifle goes back into place. Also, be careful with these. The rifles they're only just held in by pegs, so they're not even tightly held in there. They're just sitting there peacefully. Hold on. There we go. See what I mean? It is quite aggravating. And it's like, ironically, I would say this is as hard as it was to put it in the first place, and it could be facetious, but it kind of was as annoying as putting it in the first place. Okay, well, that being a pain in the butt to deal with, let's talk about the articulation. It's not bad. It's not great, but, I mean, I've dealt with worse, so. As you can see, not really a nap cruncher. Back flap goes up. That's like all the way back. That's the first cut all the way up. Like all the way up. So about that. Light in the back turned off. So you're not getting any splits out of this. So I was like, oh Lord, did it break? No. Okay, that's the knee all the way bent. So, yeah, articulate, oh, and of course, the feet bends up, but really doesn't bend down as much as a lot of other master grades. So, that's that. And of course, oh, the shoulder pauldrons go up, down. Nothing too crazy there. Head's on a ball joint. So, unlike last episode when the head couldn't do all this fun stuff, this one can. So, yeah. So, here's a little fun fact. Due to this being such a battery user in universe, these two kneecaps, if I remember correctly, are actually batteries. Yeah. So, with that being said, I'm surprised no one shot it in the knees. Just like legitimately just started shooting at it. Because right there, bam, bam, now its power is cut by 2/3. All that's left has battery power for the phase shift and a couple of more shots. But yeah, no one took the knee to actually try to shoot it. In the knees. Never made sense to me. But, you know, that's just me. So let's get to the summary and wrap up this thing. So, the Buster Gundam. Again, there's some slight personal bias because I do love him. I would recommend getting it. Just make sure you glue the visor on the head and the back of both of these legs, specifically these two pieces of armor. And know ahead of time that the two weapons on the back won't lock in 100%. That's a thing. But aside from that, it was a good build. It was a quick build. Maybe because I was building huge transformable mobile suits in the last couple of episodes. The Riser, the Wing Zero, the Wing Gundam, the Destiny. This seemed a lot more simple and straightforward. And with the heavy arms finally being in, I can't help but notice that the Gundam Seed crew and the Gundam Wing crew's mobile suits are fairly parallel to each other. I know that the Gundam Seed crew is supposed to be, the Gundam Seed universe is supposed to be a light reboot of the series to make it very similar to Gundam Mobile Suit Gundam in general. Like, obviously the re-entry of the Strike, it was supposed to be a parallel to when the RX-78 landed, went to re-entry to Earth. But honestly, Heavy Arms is a parallel. The Buster's a parallel to Heavy Arms. The Duel is a parallel to Sandrock, vaguely. The Transformable Aegis is a good analog for Epion. The color scheme is similar. The Strike is obviously supposed to be like the Wing Zero. The Blitz is the Death Scythe. And the only one I couldn't think of having a one-for-one counterpart is the Shenlong Gundam. But if you guys know if there was a one-for-one, at least a very similar mobile suit in the Gundam Seed universe to that, I would love to know it. Because Gundam Wing was my favorite series. So, like I said, I picked up this dude at my local store, but you can find him at our friends at Galactic Toys. The link is down below. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next episode where I'll be doing the Gundam X. And after that episode, it's going to be possibly the Thunderbolt Full Armor Gundam. And then after that, Heavy Arms. Or those two will be swapped. I'm not entirely sure. And hopefully in like 2 weeks, I can get the Eclipse and I can review it. And then I'm going to see about trying to get any of the newer stuff, like the Ariel and their Ferric, because I saw some stuff about the Ferric and it looks cool in general. Any dark colored Gundams, come on. There's a reason why I modded the Barbatoros to make my own Gundam out of it. So I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching, and remember, you are all awesome, you are all loved, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Catch you guys later.